Stormont's programme for government has been published, setting out targets for priority policies for Northern Ireland. But what exactly is it, and what does it set out to do? 14 years after the last, and a year in the making, it's the Executive's official plan and what it wants to deliver. Last year's draft outlined 9 priorities, while the final document goes into the goals and targets to be met by 2027. That's the end of the current mandate. Across the 100-page document, it promises 5,000 social homes, £100 million investment for hospital waiting times, and ending violence against women and girls. In the Assembly, the First Minister said there would be transparency on its progress.
We believe that this programme for government reflects the shared ambitions of the Executive, and I commend all Executive Ministers for the commitment and collaborative approach they have taken to the development of the agreement of this programme. The public are relying on each of us to act in their interests, and I do hope that this programme for government shows the public that we're willing to work together to do right by them.
Of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing. The length of time it took to get to this point, how it was delivered, and the detail all came under scrutiny in the Assembly.
Despite the desire of this Executive to be garlanded for simply existing, you do not get a passing grade for showing up to the exam hall. This document contains aspirations we share, but it is far short of the kind of clear, targeted plan that the people of Northern Ireland deserve after so many years of failure.
A process that was fraught at times with needless delay and which also at times lacked the spirit of genuine cooperation and collaboration which is referenced within the document itself. 4 months after the consultation closed in November, ministers from Alliance should not have had to ask for a summary of consultation responses, equality and rural impact assessments, nor should those ministers have had to ask for the final version of the document on the eve the Executive was due to meet to agree it.
Here's Tracy McGee with the analysis.
The reaction has largely been divided into 2 camps depending on where MLAs are sitting on the benches. The government parties, unsurprisingly, are taking the same attitude that Michelle O'Neill has taken, that this is a milestone moment. Others, like the SDLP and Independents, seem to agree with Matthew O'Toole that this is a missed opportunity. Now, look, if you're sitting in Team Michelle, you'll be saying it's a milestone because it has to be pointed out. We have not had a programme for government since way back in 2012, actually, was when it was published. That's 13 years now, largely due because we didn't have a government in many cases, or because of COVID, or simply because they couldn't agree. So this is a moment in that regard. If you're sitting on Team Matthew's position, you'll be saying, when you actually read this document, there's so many plans about plans, more strategies about strategies, that it's a missed opportunity because there's no real granular detail. So I think there is truth on both camps, and I think what will matter is that the people that are directly involved in all of this, they will be giving their opinion over coming days. They will be the ones that will be making the judgment of whether they believe this is actually a milestone or a missed opportunity.
And one person who does appear to be pleased is the Health Minister.
Yeah, Mike Nesbitt sounded like a man who couldn't believe his own luck today, because think back to January of this year. He was writing to the Assembly to say that he was getting no additional funding for waiting lists, and that was deeply concerning. Now, today, he has been told in this programme for government he's getting £135 million to deal with waiting lists, plus £80 million to also tackle the problem, £215 million a year until 2027. It's quite a reversal, as he has said. But it does appear that he can't believe his own luck, because he's now writing to the First and Deputy First Minister and the Finance Minister to make sure that what he sees in that document is actually what he's going to get. Now, that is quite strange, bearing in mind that he is a minister sitting in that executive table and is supposed to have signed off on this document, and yet he sounds like he's standing in too good to be true territory.